toilet? Oh my gosh. Hello. I've been book shopping. It's a lot. These are heavy. But that's where I've been the last couple weeks. So this is my first video in a couple weeks. I've just been kind of hanging out with the family, enjoying this horrible summer of heat that I absolutely hate. But we all know I'm counting down to fall. I did have some fun the last couple weeks going book shopping. So this is a come with me book shopping vlog. So I am obviously filming this introduction now. So the footage you will see soon have been over the last couple of weeks. My husband and I did a little weekend getaway to a town in St. Michael's, Maryland, and I had no intention of filming. Sorry, I had to move the microphone. I can't stand with it like sitting in my neck, but my husband and I went to this awesome little town called St. Michael's, Maryland. It's like on the eastern shore of Maryland. We spent the weekend there, and like I said, I had no intention of filming. But the little town has an independent bookstore, so I had to film. So you'll see some footage of that. We also went to a cute little bar before I went to the bookstore, so I was a little tipsy when I bought some books, just so you know. There was also a really cute like Christmas shop, like all year round Christmas shop that I went into as well. And then the following weekend, I had like a daughter mommy like date with my youngest daughter. She's 17, and we of course stopped at Barnes & Noble and we had breakfast, and then we went on a Code Orange hunt, and we also got donuts from a really nice like gourmet, I guess you call it, donut place. And yeah, so we had a bunch of fun. So next up is going to be a bunch of footage of all of the fun things that I've done the last couple weeks. Then we will meet back here and I will do a book haul and some other stuff that I bought. I haven't opened these bags, 2 of the bags, in like 2 weeks, so I don't even remember really what's in there. And then of course today I had to get blood work, like routine blood work, so I was like, I'm gonna treat myself to Barnes & Noble. So I got some more books today. It's a lot. I think it might be like 15 books. I don't know, but we'll see. So check out this montage of all the fun that I had, and I will meet you back here. enjoyed that. First, we are going to go over the books that I got from the, I can't remember, Book Hounds independent bookstore. That was so much fun. And then I also did get a couple of things from the Christmas shop there as well. So we'll open that. But let's start with the books. So here is the cute little tote bag that I got from the bookstore. One can never have enough totes. Will I ever use this again? Probably not. It will probably sit in a bag somewhere, in a closet somewhere. So first let's start with the candles. So they had a bunch of really cute candles that had like romance tropes on them, different kinds of sayings, but this one I really liked the smell of a lot, and it's called Old Books, and it's sandalwood, musk, and patchouli. And oh god, it smells so good. Yeah, so I had to get that. Super cute. So the first book that I grabbed was I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. I was definitely a little tipsy when I grabbed this because I actually DNF'd this author's last book that I tried to read. What's it? My Heart is a Chainsaw, I think. I just didn't enjoy it. It was boring to me, too many tangents with the main character, and I'm hoping that that doesn't happen again with this book. I know in this one we're following a young boy, I think he's about 17 years old, in Texas, and something happens and he starts documenting, I don't know, about being a serial killer. I have no idea. It takes place in Texas, yeah, in July 1989. I've heard mixed reviews about this book. Some people really love it, and some people think it's boring and goes on tangents, which I'm nervous about because that is exactly why I DNF'd the last book. So I'm hoping that I enjoy this. If you read it, let me know down below. I'd like to get more opinions on it. I was hoping to get to this actually, I think for Summerween, but we don't want to talk about Summerween. It was a disaster for me. I don't know when I'll get to this, but this is the first book that I bought. Next up is a fantasy book. This was on my most anticipated book releases for July video. And this is The Bright Sword by Lev Grossman, the author of The Magicians, which I have not read, but I have heard really great things about this author. So this is following, I believe, from what I remember, a young knight named Colum. He arrives at Camelot to compete for a place at the Round Table, only to find that he's too late. King Arthur died 2 weeks ago at the Battle of Camlan, and only a handful of the knights on the Round Table are left. And I think they're like the oddballs and the like misfits of the Round Table. This freaking book is long. I did not realize it was going to be this long. I mean, it is a fantasy book, but yeah, it's almost 700 pages, so really hope I love Lev Grossman's writing. If you read this one, please let me know down below. And then also in here, I just noticed I did grab some stickers from the bookstore. The second sticker is funny. So of course I had to get a sticker of the bookshop's name, the Book Hounds. And then I bought this, I guess, because I thought it was ironic, and it says Sober AF, which I clearly was not when I went into this bookstore. So I guess that was a little joke for myself. And then the owner was there and she gave me a cute little bookmark. And the last book that I bought, I feel like I bought this because I remembered seeing it all over the place. And then as I was reading the inside cover, it just sounded pretty interesting. I think this is like maybe literary fiction. It says, an exhilarating novel about one American family, the dark moment that shatters their suburban paradise, and the wild legacy of trauma and inheritance. It takes place in 1980, or it says in 1980, a wealthy businessman named Carl Fletcher is kidnapped from his driveway, brutalized, and held for ransom. He is returned to his wife and kids less than a week later, only slightly the worse, and the family moves, only slightly the worse. Was he terrible before? I don't know. And the family moves on with their lives, resuming their prized places in the saga of the American dream, comforted in the realization that though their money may have been what endangered them, it is also what assured their safety. And then it goes on to say, but now, nearly 40 years later, it's clear that perhaps nobody ever got what is that? It's clear that perhaps nobody ever got over anything. After all, Carl has spent the ensuing years seeking closure to the matter of his kidnapping, while his wife, Ruth, has spent her potential protecting her husband's emotional health. Their 3 grown children aren't doing much better. Nathan's chronic fear won't allow him to advance at his law firm. Beamer, a Hollywood screenwriter, will consume anything, substance, food stuff, women, in order to numb his own perpetual terror. And Jenny has spent her life so bent on proving that she's not a product of her family's pathology that she has come to define it. And then it goes on from there. So this just sounds like, and I'm pretty sure it spans decades, obviously, just like family drama. I don't know. Sometimes I really love like just jumping into a literary fiction book. I know I don't read them that much, but I do. When I do read them, usually if it's a good one, I'm very invested. So hopefully I enjoy this book. So those are all the books that I bought from the Bookhounds bookstore. And this is what I got from the Christmas shop. This like looks hand-drawn. That's really cute. I don't know if this really looks hand-drawn on here, like with marker. It's really cool. I'm gonna have to save that, put that in my journal. I went up to the owner and said, do you have any book ornaments? And she was like, you're the second person that asked me that today. I was like, yay. This is a stack of books, so cute. And I don't remember what this other thing is that I got. Oh, I forgot. They had like Halloween stuff. So I had to get a little jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern? Jack-o'-lantern. I can't get it to focus, but you get the idea. It's a cute little jack-o'-lantern. Oh my God.
And learn from the master. Sucker. It ain't the size that counts. It's what you do with it.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Concentrate. Don't be afraid of what you see.
That is freaking creepy. Are they on the toilet? Oh my gosh. That's funny. Definitely like this side more than the pink stuff. Seriously, what's up with the toilet situation? Zoom call? And diamond painting. Okay, so next up is my first trip to Barnes & Noble when I was with my daughter. I really don't remember what's in this bag. Okay, so I got 5 books. In fact, there's other stuff in this bag too. I did get a cute sticker from the donut shop that I went to. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. It says, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." It was such a cute, like, skateboarder 90s early 2000s vibe donut shop. I love it. And the donut was amazing. Oh, I totally forgot I got this book. Okay. Shit. All right. So first book I got is Do Your Worst by Rosie Danan. And this is a romance book. I forgot I got this. This is going to be perfect for the upcoming season. It says Riley Rhodes finally has a chance to turn her family's knack for the supernatural into a legitimate business when she's hired to break the curse on an infamous Scottish castle. Used to working alone in her alienating occupation, she's pleasantly surprised to meet a handsome stranger upon arrival until he tries to get her fired. Fresh off a professional scandal, Clark Edgware can't allow a self-proclaimed curse breaker to threaten his last chance for redemption. After he fails to get Riley kicked off his survey site, he vows to avoid her. Unfortunately for him, she vows to get even. Riley expects the curse to do her dirty work by driving Clark away, but instead they keep finding themselves in close proximity. Too close. Turns out the only thing they do better than fight is fool around. So, enemies to lovers, I'm assuming, but it had me at supernatural. I just thought it would be a fun book to read for the upcoming spooky fall season. Another book I would possibly like to read in the fall is My Soul to Keep by Tana Nariv Dew. I just read her book, The Reformatory, like a month or two ago, and I loved it. I loved her writing style. And this was the book that I originally wanted to read first by her. Because I think this revolves around vampires. Jessica is an African-American journalist, as ambitious as she is bright. She is chasing the biggest story of her life, a story that strikes closer to home than she knows. Dalwit is an immortal whose ancient thirst for wisdom leads him to break the first commandment of his kind, not to fall in love. Is this like a horror romance? Together, they are about to pay the ultimate price for their ambition and their desire. Okay, I know this is horror. Didn't know there was supposed to be romance in it, but I'm very excited to read this. Like I said, I loved her writing style in The Reformatory, even though that was just a hard book to get through because I hate racism. But we'll see how much I like this one. So this one, I've been like looking at this book a couple of times that I've gone to Barnes & Noble. It's a fantasy book. It's in the fantasy section. And it's called The Library of the Dead by T.L. Huchu. And it just sounded like a possibly fun time. This is actually a series. And I really loved all the book covers. So I'm giving it a try. I don't remember what it's about. It says, Ropa dropped out of a school to become a ghost stalker, and she now speaks to Edinburgh's dead, carrying messages to those they left behind. A girl's gotta earn a living, and it seems harmless enough, until that is, the dead begin to whisper that someone's bewitching children, leaving them husks, empty of joy and life. It's in Ropa City, so she feels honor-bound to investigate, but what she learns will change her world. She'll dice with death, not part of her life plan, discovering an occult library and a taste for hidden magic. She'll also experience dark times, for Edinburgh hides a wealth of secrets and Ropa's gonna hunt them all down. This sounds so fun. This also sounds like a good book to read in the fall too. So, I don't know. I feel like I want to read this soon. Yeah, I'm excited to read this one. Oh, it's got a blurb from Charlene Harris. She wrote True Blood series. It says, I highly recommend the, it doesn't say much. It says, I highly recommend the Library of the Dead. So, that's exciting. And it takes place in Scotland, which is on my bucket list. Next up, I've seen this on quite a few booktubers that I follow's channels, and this is The Eyes Are the Best Part. This is horror. It has something to do with eyeballs, which I have a feeling is going to gross me out because eyeballs. Crying in H Mart meets My Sister the Serial Killer in this feminist psychological horror about the making of a serial killer from a Korean American's perspective. That sounds really interesting. Heard great reviews about it, so looking forward to this one. And the last book that I got on my little outing with my daughter is Snow Crash by Neil Stevenson. This is a sci-fi book, and I love just going into a bookstore. Like, I've never heard of this book, never heard of this author, and just picking up the books, looking at the back, being intrigued by the synopsis, not checking Goodreads for reviews, trusting in my own likes and, you know, based on the synopsis, hoping that I enjoy the book. That's how I used to go book shopping before BookTube. So anyway, I say all that to say I've never heard of this author or this book. But it says one of Time's 100 best English language novels. In the real world, Hiro protagonist delivers pizza, but in the metaverse, he's a warrior prince, plunging headlong into the enigma of a new computer virus that's striking down hackers everywhere. Hiro races along the neon-lit streets on a search and destroy mission for the shadowy virtual villain, threatening to bring about what the hell word is this? So it kind of looks like, can't read, which is a word I can't damn well say half the time anyway. Apocalypse. This says infocalypse. Okay. Snow Crash is a mind-altering romp through a future America so bizarre, so outrageous, you'll recognize it immediately. So this is either going to be a complete snore fest, and I'm going to be bored out of my mind, or it's going to be very exciting because I love sci-fi. The main character is a pizza. What the heck? I'm a pizza delivery dude. So I'm hoping there's some humor in it. You know, my favorite thing is humor. I don't care what genre I'm reading. If you have humor in your book, I'm normally going to love it. So we'll see. Please, if you read this, let me know what your thoughts were. So those are all the books that I bought when I was hanging out with my daughter. Now I'm going to show you some Code Orange stuff that I got from a couple stores. I did grab a diamond painting kit with the jack-o'-lantern, another jack-o'-lantern. I'm so excited because it glows in the dark. The biggest diamond painting that I've ever done. I've normally only done this size. Yeah, that's about as big as I've done. That was for Christmas. So this is going to be in, you know, I probably should just start this now because it might take me until October to get this done. So we'll see, especially when you can barely see after hours of looking at little tiny diamonds. But I still am very excited to do this and hopefully hang it up somewhere all year because Halloween is in my heart all year. Okay, I remember what this is. I don't know if I'm going to have the audio yet from when I was like looking at Code Orange stuff. But when I was in Michael's, I remember saying, I'm not really into pink for Halloween. You know, I like the classic colors because Michael's had this whole section of like pink Halloween stuff. And why is it that when I went into Home Goods? I think Home Goods. I literally had to have this coffee cup because it was so freaking cute. Like the pink little ghosty and I don't know, the ghost isn't pink, but all the little pink and some of the pumpkins are orange. This was just too cute. I just had to have it. And there's a little ghost in here. Not that I need any more coffee mugs. I am mostly like 80% a minimalist, except for books and apparently coffee mugs and sweatshirts. But outside of that, and t-shirts. Outside of that, I try not to buy a bunch of shit. But I had to have this. This is so cute. It's so cute. Yeah, so I had to have it. Lastly, this is another Barnes & Noble haul from today, which today is Saturday. What is today? Saturday the 10th. I did go to the library too, so we'll start with the library books. So first up, this is a small little book. Look in the Mirror by Catherine Stedman. This was also on my most anticipated reads for July. This is a thriller book. I do not remember what it is about, but I put it on hold because it was ready today. When Nina's father dies, she has left something in his will, a gleaming dream vacation home in a balmy tropical paradise. She'll find out the hard way that what you inherit from those you love can end up costing your life in this heart-pounding thriller from the New York blah, 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 blah. So I know there's Nina who inherits this house from her father, and she's like, where the hell did this come from? Because obviously he didn't have money like that. And then there's also, I don't know if it's a different POV, but they talk about Maria, who is a nanny for the super rich. And she goes to her next like job or whatever. And I don't know if it's at this house of Nina's, but she goes there and there's no one there. Like, the kids aren't there. The family's not there. So she just decides to chill up in there. And then I don't know what happens. Oh, it says don't go in the basement. That room is off limits. So this is my first book by this author. I hope I like it. Just like I say about all the books that I get. This is so tiny though. And then this one, I always stop at the table where the librarians have their book recommendations. I just love seeing them. And this one was recommended by Kevin, whoever that is. Thank you, Kevin the librarian. I thought I was going to have his opinion on here, but it doesn't. But this is called Hatchet Girls. I think this is young. Yeah, this is teen. This is young adult. I was like intrigued. It says the Morses are dead. When Mariella Morse accuses her boyfriend, Vic Gomez, of murdering her wealthy parents with an axe, the town is quick to believe her. It doesn't help that Vic was caught standing over her parents' bodies with blood on his hands and is now unable to remember anything about the night in question. But Vic's sister, Tessa, knows that Vic could never commit such a gruesome crime. Haunted by the mistakes she made that led her family to move to Fall River, Massachusetts, in the first place, she sets out to prove her brother's innocence. Tessa's search for answers will take her into a sprawling, notoriously cursed forest, where she and Mariella must face a darkness that has lurked within their town since before the days of Lizzie Borden, the original axe murderers of Fall River. And this is like a supernatural thriller, which I love. It says, set more than 100 years after the Borden murders, this supernatural thriller imagines what might happen if history repeated itself today. So that sounds fun. All right, so there's 5 more books. These are the books that I got from Barnes & Noble today. When I was checking out the Barnes & Noble staff at my Barnes & Noble, even though it's a small Barnes & Noble, are so nice. I love them. He was like, wow, you've got quite the genre mix here. I'm like, yes, I do. And then he was like, you can just read whatever you're in the mood for. I was like, yes, because I'm a mood reader. You're like, thank you, we're here. You understand me. Okay, first book is Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay. I actually started reading this today while I was eating breakfast, and I'm already enjoying it. This is a quick book. And this, all I know from what I've started is, and I can't remember if I don't know who the lead character is. That one kind of threw me off. I can't remember the point of view from where this book is coming from. There's a character that's called like the tall skinny kid or something, and I don't know if it's his point of view. I have to go back because I was like, you know when you read and you're out in public and you're kind of like listening to the public stuff, watching your back, and then you're trying to read too, and I just couldn't focus. So I might have to restart this, but it takes place in 1993. I think you're going back and forth in timelines, but it's really cool because there's parts of the script that's in this too. So I'm actually going to try to get the audiobook also because I've heard that the audiobook is really good. But something happens. They made some movie that they never finished making. I think there was only a couple scenes that leaked out, and this became like some cult following situation. I don't know. I'm excited to read this. I've already started it. Like I said, I could possibly finish this weekend, but this is the first book that I got. Next up is a romance book. It says Love at First Book, and this is by Jim McKinley. And this just sounded really cute. It takes place, I think, in Ireland. When a librarian moves to a quaint Irish village where her favorite novelist lives, the last thing she expects is to fall for the author's prickly son until their story becomes one for the books. So, you know, it's like cute. It takes place in a library in Ireland, and she's a librarian. It just sounded great to me. So next up is It Had to Be You by Eliza Jane Brazier. And this, I think, pretty sure this is like a romance. I don't know if it's like a romance thriller, but these two are hitmen and women, and they have contracts to kill each other. It takes place all across Europe. It sounds like an action. It almost reminded me when I was reading the back of this of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the movie with Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. So I hope this is a fun, exciting, like action-packed with some romance mixed in. That's what I'm hoping for. Oh, it says, what if John Wick was a rom-com? See, that sounds perfect to me. That sounds perfect. And this little blurb by Allie Hazelwood, author of Love Theoretically. A humorously dark, upsettingly sexy, unique love story about the horrors and delights of being seen as Delights of being seen as who we really are, with lots of swords and plenty of smut. Oh, this is smutty. This is smutty. So, smutty in action? Like, crime action, not smutty action. But okay, I can't read to read this. So this one I saw on the shelf, and it's funny because I just watched Erin Megan's recent vlog. I love her channel. She always has the greatest like thriller and horror recommendations. And she was reading this book and she compared it to the like Stephen King's writing and a coming of age book with some horror in it, and it just sounded really good. It is very long. She did definitely mention that it was long, but overall she enjoyed it. And just the way it was described, I thought that I would really, really enjoy this book. I've never heard of this author. Did I say what it's called? Lost Man's Lane by Scott Carson. So it says, dead men tell plenty of tales, but they do not lie. Marshall Miller would have remembered her face even if he hadn't seen it on a missing poster. When a young woman goes missing in his small town, the investigation hinges on Marshall's haunting sight of her, crying in the backseat of a police car driven by a cop named Maddox. There's only one problem. No local cop named Maddox exists. But the speeding ticket he handed to Marshall certainly does. Dealing with police and media is heady stuff for a teenager, the son of a single mother, but Marshall is sure he could handle it until the shocking day when his reliability as a witness implodes. Now scorned in shame, he finds unlikely allies as he confronts the ancient secrets behind his small town's peaceful facade and learns the truth about his own family. So I hope I like it. We'll see. And then the last book that I got was Slow Dance by Rainbow Rowell. This was another book on my anticipated July reads list, and I'm excited about this. This is this author's first adult book. It's a romance book, and all I know about it is it's two people that grew up together as teenagers. They went their separate ways. Everybody thought that when they were in high school would end up together, but they went their separate ways, and somehow they have found each other again. And I don't know if they're trying to re-spark something or what happened for them to part ways. I don't know. But we will see. I really like this author's writing. I've read Fangirl by her and Pumpkinheads, which is a graphic novel. Those are all the books that I've hauled in the last couple weeks. It's a lot. I think I also have a book of the month book coming. Oh, I have one more book. Let me grab it. Okay. I have one more book. And then I got a package while I was out there. So we're going to open that too. But the last book I got from Amazon, this is actually a pre-order. It just came in this week, The Mercy of the Gods by James S.A. Corey. Now, James S.A. Corey is two authors, and they are the writers of the Expanse series, which is a sci-fi series that I am really enjoying. So I was very excited to check this out. I think this is the beginning of a new series. It says, how humanity came to the planet called Angine is lost in the fog of history, but that history is about to end. The Carrick's part empire, part hive, has waged wars of conquest for centuries, destroying or enslaving species across the galaxy in its conflict with an ancient and deathless enemy. When they descend on the isolated world of Angine, the human population is abased, slaughtered, and put in chains. The best and brightest are abducted, taken to the Carrick's World Palace to join prisoners from 1,000 other species. David Alcor, assistant to a prestigious scientist, is captured along with his team. Even he doesn't suspect that his peculiar insight and skills will be the key to seeing past their captor's terrifying agenda. Swept up in a conflict beyond his control and vaster than his imagination, David is poised to become humanity's champion and its betrayer. This is where his story begins. So that sounds great. I love me a good sci-fi book, so I can't wait to at some point get to this book. And then the last package just coincidentally arrived that I figured I would share for you. So these are from Print Fresh. These are pajamas, actually. And I've been looking at them for quite a while, just the pajama company in general. But then they came out with this print, and I was like, okay, this is a sign that I need to give them a try. So this is the company. They're a sustainable company, 100% cotton pajamas. Oh, they're soft. They are soft. Oh God, these are gonna be so cozy for the fall. It's books. There's a cat on there. I'm not a cat person. I'm sorry. I'm allergic to them very, very much, but we'll let that slide. But yeah, they're just books. It's a, like, you know, long sleeve button down with the pants that go with it. Oh, they smell nice too. Yeah, so that is my haul. That is my come with me book shopping, book haul tchotchke haul of random stuff. Thank you as always for hanging out with me today. I clearly have a problem. I think 2025 might need to be a year where I put myself on some kind of book buying ban, because this stack over here is massive. My shelves are overflowing. I still need to read a lot of the books that I already own, but I have a problem. I have a problem, and I know a lot of you do too. I cannot talk today. I am so sorry. We all share this same problem. Well, some of you might not. Some of you may be more disciplined than me, but I know there's a good lot of you that aren't. But as always, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I look forward to seeing you again. See ya!